Right, well, good morning. It's Sunday and I'm off for a drive. It's another wet, overcast day here in Northern Ireland. Typical winter type days. So what I want to talk to you about is I'm about to embark, hopefully, on a fairly ambitious trip. The trip is to South Africa and then to Namibia and back down to South Africa. So this will hopefully happen end of February, if we are still allowed to fly. Leaving end of February, arriving the 28th. Sorry, arriving on the 25th, arriving on the 26th. Flying Dubai, Turkey, Cape Town. A couple of days in Cape Town, pick up the van, and then on the 3rd of March, we head on up into Namibia. So I'm picking up my van on the 2nd, so I can prep it and get it ready for the road. Kit it out so that I can have everything I need, so I don't have to do that on the day that I actually want to leave. So that'll happen on the 2nd. And then early in the morning on the 3rd, we will leave Cape Town for the border crossing and into Fish River Canyon. That's a fairly ambitious first drive, but being that I'm still fresh and eager to get the trip started, that should be perfectly well doable. So it's about a 900 kilometer drive from Somerset West to Hobart. That's the NWA campsite. And what has just happened to my GoPro? It's made its way loose. Didn't tighten it properly. Okay. So that's a 900 kilometer drive, which is fairly doable in the van. So essentially the van is a Nissan Toyota, whatever it is, 4-wheel drive with a cab on the back, self-contained cab with your sleeping arrangements. The reason I went with that particular model is I initially was going to do a rooftop tent, which was great, no big deal. I don't think there's terribly much in the price difference. The convenience of having the rooftop tent was that you can opt for a double cab with just a single tent, which means I've got more packing space in the back of the van to lay stuff out that I don't have to jump into the back of the suitcase and that kind of thing. I'm going to just lay it out. I need to grab it, it's in the back to grab. Whereas the one I'm getting has only got the single cab, which is also fine because I'm going to be on my own solo trip, so I can just lay it on a passenger seat. But there's two factors that made me choose the cab that I'm getting. One was a kind of a logistical thing, because I'm planning to do early morning starts, and then when you're getting up at 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning to get ready to go, you've now got to break down the rooftop tent, pack it away, strap it down, all that kind of stuff. And it's a bit more of a tedious procedure. It's not a big mission, but it's more tedious. And I thought, well, it's just easier to have the cab like that, to not have the rooftop tent. So the cab that I've got is all self-contained. I just have to open the back door and I'm in my sleeping arrangements. But the plus for that is it has a shower, the outside shower, portable handheld shower. So in essence, all I really need to get is a little suction cup mount thing that you can hold the shower in, and I've got an outdoor shower. It doesn't have a toilet, so a lot of the place I'm staying at is going to be at a campsite anyway, but there are a couple of places where I am not, and to go for a shower is on the other side of the camp, and it's just more convenient. So that's why I went with that. The trip is a 21-day trip. 23-day trip, sorry. 23-day. Starting off in Somerset West, driving through to Hobart for 2 nights at the Fish River Canyon. And then when I'm finished there, it's about a 400-kilometer drive to Lüderitz. Now I've opted to get to Lüderitz the quick way instead of going around the bottom way, which is obviously the more scenic route but much longer route. The faster way is on tarmac all the way there, I think. So it'll make that 400-kilometer drive much quicker and much easier. The reason for that is I need to get to Lüderitz before the close of day so that I can get my photography permits, which will enable me to enter Kolmanskop ghost town in the morning for sunrise. So Lüderitz is 2 days. 2 days, 3 nights. 3 nights, 1 day, I don't know, I'm not too sure now. Definitely 2 days, so 3 nights. Lüderitz is a beautiful little town, very windy. It's a location where they do wind speed records for the windsurfers. Because the wind is always blowing there, it blows quite ferociously there. So they do the wind speed records there. So Lüderitz is, I don't think, terribly much to photograph there. There's 1 or 2 spots. There's an old little lighthouse, there's some seals, so there's something to photograph there. But the reason for staying there is Kolmanskop. Kolmanskop. That's the ghost town, which was abandoned in the 1940s or something, some time ago. And that will make for some absolutely beautiful pictures. If you Google it, you'll see what I'm talking about. So that's 2 days, 3 nights. So it gives me 2 sunrises there. The first day will pretty much be a kind of a scouting location shoot. And then the next day will be a bit more kind of honed in shot. A honed in day to maximize shooting potential for that location, as it is such a beautiful location. Then we depart Lüderitz, and on the way from Lüderitz, we are heading towards Swakopmund, which is pretty much, I would say, the party place of Namibia. Many people will go there for holidays in Namibia, would go to Swakopmund. That'll be this holiday spot. So when we leave Lüderitz, we're going to go past the wild horse. I won't really call it a sanctuary, but it's where you'll find all the wild horses. Now these horses have evolved over the years since they were left there during the mining days and World War days, and they've just evolved to become self-sufficient and sort themselves out. So hopefully you'll get some nice pictures of them. Then right opposite the place where you can shoot the horses is pretty much an abandoned old train station with a solitary tree and some train lines. Makes for a great minimalistic type picture. So we'll go and shoot that, and then we'll drive to Swakopmund, which is again probably in the region of 400 odd kilometers. So we'll take the day to get there, stopping all over the place, enjoying the long straight roads with nothing to see here type roads, but everything to see. We'll do that. We'll get to Swakopmund. I'm there for 2 nights. So the one sunset, I'm planning to do a drive into the dunes with a tour group, and because you can only drive in the dunes there with a tour group. So we'll do that. A, I'm not allowed to drive with a van in the sand dunes, and B, if you're not experienced to drive in the sand dunes, it's not a good place to learn with a hired van, because you will definitely get stuck. Sand dune driving is another kettle of fish. Anyway, so we'll do a sunset drive with them. The premise for that drive is purely to get a shot during sunset of one of the oldest dune system in the world, or the oldest dune system in the world, meeting the Atlantic Ocean. Where else will you find this in the world? So you've got the Atlantic Ocean on the one side, dunes on the other side, beautiful sunset, fantastic picture. Look one way, you've got the sea, turn 180 degrees, you've got nothing but sand, ever shifting sand. So that's the premise for that image there. And then along the way we'll probably find what they call the little five, and those are your sidewinder snake, your little lizards, your geckos, and some beetles, little spiders. They call them the little five. So once we've done that, the first or second night, I'm not sure which one, I'm not sure where I'm going to shoot the second sunset. I haven't really decided yet, but I have my eye on this old little abandoned church just next to Walvisbaai. Walvisbaai and Swakopmund are a stone throw away. They short drive. Walvisbaai is more a industrial-ish type town. It's the main seaport, put it that way, for Namibia. So we'll go and shoot some stuff there. Incidentally, the tour into the dunes actually starts at Walvisbaai. Then during the days at Swakopmund, I plan on going out to photograph the welwitschias. They're a desert plant that some of them are recorded to be in the region of 1,500 years old. And these absolutely grow on the desert floor with little to no water, and it's just an amazing plant to see. So there's this big field of these welwitschias that I want to photograph. And then also just kind of down the road from there is what they call the moon landscape. Just this rocks that looks like the moon. Who knows, they could have done the actual moon landing there. Who knows? Did they really do the moon landing? Maybe they did it there. Who knows? Anyway, so that's the one day. And then the other day is just exploratory. See what there is. See a bit of the town. It's a very old town. A lot of German influence there because the Germans stayed there. So it's massively German influenced. And so we'll shoot that. And hanging around. Then from there we will leave Ludritz. We will leave Swakopmund, and we will head towards Sossusvlei. Right, I'm just in a little harbour here, which is quite nice for pictures. It's quite a stormy little spot. I'm just going to pull up here. causing chaos here now, I suppose. Actually, I do want to be here. They can just drive around. So, right. So from Swakopmund, we are driving to, not Sossusvlei. We are driving to Spitskoppe. Right, so Spitskoppe is a great place to camp. It's locally known as the Matterhorn of Africa. And if you look up Spitskoppe, you'll understand why. It's one peak, there's two main parts to it, but the one peak is pretty much like the Matterhorn. And so there I'm staying 2 days, 3 nights, because I want to explore that area really, really well. Yeah, it's a great, not only is it a great place to actually camp, but it's quite massive, and there's beautiful pictures to be had there, especially the entrance to the drive down to Spitskoppe. It's a beautiful drive. So I've got a few pictures arranged that I want to shoot there, that I have in my mind, that I definitely want to shoot, and then just explore the region and maximize my time there. They've also got a bit of an arch, pretty much similar to the Mesa Arch in the States, similar kind of thing, and it's also a very well photographed little spot. So want to shoot that at night, although I have a bit of the moon against me. So we'll do that. That's Spitskoppe, and then I'm going to leave it there for now because I want to shoot some waves here, and then I will come back to you and continue the story.